Liverpool could launch legal challenge over VAR blunder that may cost them 80 million. Luis Diaz's disallowed goal against Tottenham Hotspur was arguably the most high-profile VAR error since its introduction. The saga may not be finished yet. Liverpool could be in a position to launch a legal challenge over the VAR blunder, which cost them a point against Tottenham. A whole week has almost passed, but Reds fans are still seething after VAR failed to overturn a decision which saw Luis Diaz's opening goal against Ange Postecoglou's side incorrectly ruled out for offside. While the PGMOL have dropped Darren England and Dan Cook from the weekend's Premier League fixtures, there are no plans to overhaul the current protocol, which says games cannot be delayed to overturn incorrect decisions once play has restarted. Before Liverpool's recent 2-0 victory over Union Saint-Gilloise, Jurgen Klopp was roundly criticized for saying he believes their 2-1 loss to Spurs should be replayed. But while this is unlikely, while the PGMOL have dropped Darren England and Dan Cook from the weekend's Premier League fixtures, there are no plans to overhaul the current protocol, which says games cannot be delayed to overturn incorrect decisions once play has restarted. Before Liverpool's recent 2-0 victory over Union Saint-Gilloise, Jurgen Klopp was roundly criticized for saying he believes their 2-1 loss to Spurs should be replayed. But while this is unlikely, football finance expert Dr. Rob Wilson thinks the Merseysiders could potentially have a legal claim. There's a discernible difference in prize money for the Premier League's top two of about 5 million or 6 million, but Liverpool still would have qualified for the Champions League, and that's much bigger than finishing 5th, the professor of economics at Sheffield Business School said, on behalf of bettingsites.co.uk. It's offset a bit by the Europa League, but 80 million is the difference between qualifying for the Europa rather than the Champions League. That's why it's much more important for clubs to finish in the top 4 than finish champions. There isn't that much difference between finishing 4th or finishing 1st, but it's next to nothing. 5th to 4th is where the big money is earned. Do you think Liverpool could have a legal claim against the Premier League? Let us know in the comments section below. He added, "I'm not a lawyer, so I couldn't answer if Liverpool would have a legal case against the Premier League or not. My understanding is that the laws of the game prevent the game from being stopped. As far as the officials were concerned, the VAR decision was the right one, but you would imagine some kind of legal challenge. That legal challenge would involve multi-millions of pounds in unachieved revenue. That could entail not finishing at the top of the Premier League or not reaching the Champions League, which is easier to calculate. Failure to get into the top 4 will cost Liverpool $80 million next year. I don't see we've got any precedents here, other than when Mascherano and Tevez were playing for West Ham and the Hammers sent Sheffield United down. That ended up being a 5 million payment which was never relative to the cost of relegation. That does give us a precedent to say a legal challenge will be the next stage. A victory for Liverpool against Spurs would have seen them go 1 point clear at the top of the Premier League. Instead, they were dragged back down to 4th position. Things could get even worse for them as Klopp's side traveled to Sussex to face a dangerous Brighton side.